Oh, bye. Barack Obama, 1987. Well, that's basically 8 plus 7. My being 15 years of age. They did not destroy me inside of the grammar school. I entered the high school and hijacked to Kenya.
Have more confidence in the possibility of shaping their own fate.
I remember this very much. I remember the other stuff too, but this is what I remember the most. This.
Yeah. My brother.
This is what I remember the most. Barack Obama, 1987, he was so fucking angry. He got to know Robert Golob, he got to know Milan Kucan, he got to know these people from Slovenia back then already. He was so fucking angry. I was hijacked to Kenya. It doesn't really matter whether through the Central Intelligence Agency or through through Slovenia. Most likely by Barack Obama personally, but Slovenian people, Kucan, Golob, the so-called communists from Slovenia, they would already be coming to him, to Kenya, whenever he would go to Kenya. Don't think they traveled together. This is very interesting about the Kenya. But yeah, they would meet me basically, or have me meet them in Kenya at his place. I had no clue about who the fuck this guy is. Well, actually, I quite remembered him from United States, but I did not understood what exactly he was doing there till he started to break me down about it. They Kucan, that's why I know Slovenian side was the one that explained me that this is his homeland, his country, and so on. I was truly not amazed by that. With so many problems I had, just trying to survive, you don't understand the stuff I had going on here in Slovenia. I find myself in a hijack to Kenya basically to watch this. You know, for me personally, this poverty was not the most exciting thing. I was doing my best to survive a Holocaust in Slovenia. The violence, unlimited forms of violence. And I found myself in environment to which I testified so many times before, full of violence. There's nothing these poor people wouldn't perform for money. It wasn't the first nor the last time. Boy, I couldn't believe my eyes. Everybody in this video was involved in it, with this reporter, photographer included. He would deliver me, not only he would continue to deliver me to Kenya, and if I was delivered to Kenya, they would have me meet him. This guy spent a lot of time in Kenya. It was not only his one visit or something like that. When you see him with his girls here, and you're gonna see, I don't know, maybe Chinese or Japanese, I don't know who these Asian girls are. This is where he already presented his situation there, because it was so racist, the environment, that he must have not felt safe in that environment. So that's how he got mixed with people from other countries, basically to be in somewhat acceptable environment, because the environment was so full of hatred that this place was just boiling in anger, boy. You You want to be delivered practically as a teenager to a place like this, and I was delivered to these locations as a child for torture purposes. You don't want to be fucking in. Slovenian side talked to me about that's his country, that's where he's from, and they demanded from me to express interest in it. The only interest I had is to get the fuck out of this terrorist place, basically. This is like you walked in environment drugged up, where you did not know whether you're going to be stabbed with a knife, killed, whacked, whatever, from 1 minute to another. There was nothing fun about watching this black guy right there that you see on a porch staring at me, half insane. Giving totally schizophrenic looks, madness, rage on his face. There was nothing fun about that stuff. He became American president. And don't think Central Intelligence Agency, FBI, did not know about this stuff. Listen, I'm not here to spread racism or anything like this, but I left the lady here a question. Yeah, but this was a time when you were definitely not right in your head. It did help you to somehow become acceptable. You see the girl here walking through the fire. They sat on the ground, and the blacks, well, there is only blacks there, started to witch hunt their own people. She's black, and they excluded her from society. They had some older guy that they started to witch hunt even their own people that were willing to associate, actually to see themselves in me. To see yourself in a white person, drugged up person, that's no, basically. Torture, yes, okay, good. Money, yes. Theft, kill, steal, yes. See yourself in suffering of another human being was a no. They get to kill you if you are one of them for that type of violation, basically. So she goes on this Žerjavica, I don't even know how you say that, to walk through to demonstrate determination and forced her society to accept her into Julie Gichuru is her name, back into her circle, into her society. Fucking horror. Truly, I am amazed. She was inside of the house with others from Kenya. She was a frequent visitor to our house in Novo Mesto. I was hijacked to Kenya God knows how many times. And I don't understand, due to amount of torture, degree of torture, how the fuck these people go about this stuff? How do they live? They kill people in Kenya. They lynch people in Kenya. Yet they don't feel anything about it. They collect dollars, they collect the money, and they move on like nothing is happening. And hallucinate about the racism, hallucinate about equality, hallucinate. You know, it's a hotspot for terrorism, really. It's a different kind of terrorism. The kind of terrorism that white Americans, Central Intelligence Agency, FBI, Germans, British, love it. Because that's what they want. They want to spread the hatred. It's what I was used for. Throughout Eastern Europe, throughout Asia, to infect as many countries as possible. And if you can infect them, then get data on them and extort them in other ways. As much as possible. Because there's not only one way to extort. One way to cause problem. To categorize, to make the selection as per who, where, from where, how, in which category. Disgusting. Truly, truly disgusting. Obama's presidency, they did absolutely everything they possibly could to get me killed in Kenya. It started in my childhood. It did not slow down. They never lost hope. Eventually they lost hope. They lost hope here. Yeah, I need to... This was another criminal, this guy. I don't think he died at all. He filed a certificate. There was a whole bunch of them. And once it became evident, they're not gonna be able to just erase me, make me disappear. A criminal started to file for funerals. They became eager to disappear. The worst I endured from Kenya was when I was dumped into the psychiatric hospital 2012 during Obama's presidency. And it was thanks to Obama. A Holocaust that lasted all the way to 2018. This was 5 years ago when I was in Poland, when I already got the proofs. And then she goes here on a camera and does me a speech that makes me totally wonder about the whole thing. It makes me wonder because the words that she gave them to me in respect to the funeral, entire speech that she posed with in front of the camera.
You have been very steadfast together with.
I mean,
I'm smiling.
I'm gonna put the stuff under this video. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this stuff. This girl one time was interested in dating me. There was some other girl also was interested in other girls that were interested in dating me. I don't know what to tell you. It's very difficult to tell. Sometimes you're angry at someone because you're frustrated. Because you get used to seeing one. And you're no longer going to be able to see one. In my case, because I managed to prove MK Ultra extermination procedure. And so now you try to send message, and what kind of message is that? Is it a message that is based on hatred? There's the way that at the time she claimed no, that this guy was not a bad guy, and another guys that were involved in violence. No, they're not bad guys. No, not at all. Or is it that you feel frustrated because you're not going to see that person anymore for some other reason or whatever? Also, it's kind of a weird, it's really strange that you have feelings for someone to express them in crazy ways like this. I tend to keep on a safe side when it comes to stuff like this, and really would not get personal, not emotional with issues like this. I was going to say I don't know what to think, but I do know what to think. This is manipulative, exploitative, criminal, murderous, as anything in this world ever was. A German Gestapo was not as murderous, mischieving as this. If I did the video on this stuff, and then it would have been probably about 38 years of lynching, terror, on somebody who is drugged up and defenseless. If I did that kind of horror movie, you would not like, none of you would like, and you would all agree it exceeds the type of terror that Gestapo was using during the torture. So this is not good stuff for Kenya. There's just too much of this stuff on the internet anyways. Whether to make me recall, to remind myself of one, or whatever the reason might be. There is some kind of contract they signed and they got compensated for. This here was the ambassador, American ambassador, and his name is Robert Godetz. The guy that you see here was heavily involved in MK Ultra, this guy here. Ambassador, American ambassador to Kenya. What am I gonna say to you about this guy? I mean, he was completely in line with the Slovenian police. His last name even is Slovenian. I don't know what to say. From the beginning, he posed differently, but who didn't? Just short after, he would turn into something completely different and serve the best to abilities. That's why they kept him in Kenya. If he was sympathizing with me, he wouldn't be anywhere. So this is another American individual who closely collaborated with Milan Kučan. He had a very strong ties with Robert Golob, with Golobic, with all these Slovenian communists, as they refer them as the communists. I don't actually see this as a communists. All through are not in particular soft to communist issue. I didn't have anything other than problems when it comes to communism. The communism was not really solidarity of any kind with me. Really, I don't see myself in a communism. I can't say much about the communism. Anything good in particular I cannot say. But this foremost had a colors of ethnic cleansing, killing, based on ethnicity, based on race, even what became because of this so-called communists in Slovenia. They expanded the issue on a racial issue, religious issues. They absolutely everything, whatever is listed inside of the book, from equal employment opportunity, discrimination laws, or United Nations, whatever. Milan Kučan went through absolutely everything, and not once. He went through every issue millions times throughout the world, using people to create a beast literally out of this. Oh, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I don't actually know what to think about all this. I don't know what to think about all this. You know, quite frankly, it doesn't pay me off to think much about this stuff. The Kenyans couldn't kill me as much as they tried. They did not succeed. Whatever Barack Obama started with idea to get me killed, it did not work out for him. It did not work out for his Kenyan people. I managed through the presidency, and in 2018, this was July 2018, there's actually a girl that I do like that appeared here in this video, and I was looking for her name. The way they would do with me, talking about Americans that would transfer me to Kenya. The violence here, this is just they instantly clicked with the Slovenian communists. They just clicked with Milan Kučan, they just clicked with the Novo Mesto police officers, which exercised Guantanamo-like violence, torture methods using Kenyan people. This went far beyond Guantanamo. Far beyond Guantanamo torture. It's hard for me to believe that I'm age 53 with people talking about Guantanamo and torture and this and that and SIA and I don't know what. It's hard for me to believe, to have witnessed so many people so keen, so friendly, so much sympathizing with extreme forms of torture, bestiality performed on one. Taking the side of not even punitive psychiatry, as I had nothing to do with their systems, but literally psychiatry with the purpose to torture, to kill, terrorize. It's amazing. Barack Obama, the way they did this stuff, the way they orchestrated this stuff, they would use this guy here, this goddess here, the one I demonstrated you. What they would do is they would deliver me to him a day or two before Obama, or even a week or more before Obama would appear in Kenya. He was making unofficial visits to Kenya, not only official visits. And what they would do is they would acclimatize me through the torture also. It all depended on the needs of Barack Obama, the way, or other politicians, the way they wanted to present certain issues for their records, for the purpose of their records, the way they wanted to protect themselves, to portray me as. Man. Then you would, literally, I remember for this visit here, they would deliver me to the airport. Barack Obama literally exercised for this issue here before he appeared. He practiced with his people here, but earlier time when they would do this shit. Then Barack Obama would appear, and sometimes they would deliver me directly with planes, with politicians on them. But the way this stuff was done on this occasion here, it was done like this, that I was delivered about, I would say about 2 days before Obama arrived. And they wanted to convince me that I came with a plane. This was one of the things that Barack Obama tried to convince me, that it was with a plane and stuff like this. When it was not. It was either day or 2 days before Obama arrived that they had me here, through this individual here. Through this guy here. This is the way this operated. It's like an animal, basically. Deliver you to him. And he gets you in hands. He does whatever he does with you. And then you have a plane coming. And this stuff is done in such a way that the way they did this stuff, the way they do this stuff, they use this girl here who was involved in this MK Ultra. This dancing girl that you see here, this is a beast. It says below who she is, whatever she is. This is a fucking beast. This is so racist. This is a beast. This is a beast that want to look fun. She got degree and this got the university educated. and I fun, I entertaining, and so on. Actually, even looks like his sister. His sister was involved from forever, before she graduated. That looks actually like his sister. I think that's his sister. At one point in time, his sister was interested in getting me married. And for declining this kind of invitations to get married, yeah, it's a race. You're racist, beatings, torture. I don't owe you anything anymore. Now it's my turn to fuck you up. That type of attitude is what you get. So it looks to me that this is his sister that comes to visit him on the airport. She was directly involved in torture during Barack Obama's presidency in Kenya, and literally ran torture ring during Barack Obama's presidency. It's very important for me to notice. You can see her in other videos giving people hope, speeches, crowds totally excited about her. And then you have this lady right there that you see, lighter skin. I think a mixed race, whatever. She is with this guy here, with this American ambassador to Kenya, Godets. I don't know. Actually, I gotta see this stuff here. I think I might have idea actually about this stuff, maybe even now. Who the fuck knows? Maybe this is his wife. It's kind of strange. Very strange actually, because I think it's his wife. Now I recall. I think it's his wife. There is a problem with this stuff. The problem is that they lied to me. They told me that she is a secretary, that she works in one of the offices from this Kenyatta, what's his president of Kenya. And I was really, really looking for her. These people are also involved, Korean. Try to... Okay, I'm not going to be wasting time right now with this stuff. I was very, very, very certain until this moment. Now I know where to find her. Until this moment, I was totally, totally certain, because of the lies they did on me, that she was actually working in administration of the Kenyan president. They had all these females, some of them like a sister from Obama, they had a really prominent positions and so on. She became in charge, I don't know. And it looked like they literally treated her like like some kind of a side girl, like not really like a consort or like entourage or something like that, but like she alone acted like she was a secretary around in premises of the palace of this Kenyan president. She is a wife, I believe, from Godets. I don't know why, but she did flirted a little bit with me. I was quite crazy about her. Another thing is, no, they guaranteed me that she is from there. It was like the environment itself was like in such a way it was done that they suggested that I don't even like her anymore. And really, this was recorded in 2018. I no longer even wanted to have anything to do with her. Quite unusual, but the thing is that when they piss you off completely, and you know, you progress throughout MK Ultra, and Barack Obama was trying to do best to portray me like this was not violent in 2018. They were doing their best to clean their hands. It was the first time that his sister was not involved in torture. It was fucking funny because she was asking me, what about this? What we're gonna do with this guy and this and that? She had a really problem not getting involved in torture also in 2018 on this opportunity, on this very opportunity, because I was with her when we headed to the airport, the entire delegation. So I remember I was here already when Barack Obama arrived with a plane. He was munching something about that he's gonna get proof that he was on the plane or he was not on the plane and stuff like this with him. That I was on the plane or was not in plane with him and this and that he's gonna get me on and stuff like this. There's no fucking way to get me. Strange, because she got into this environment like she was part of it, like she was from here. It made me feel like she was from Kenya, and I think this is his wife from the States actually. Actually, let me be very, very precise about this stuff. This is not his wife. This is the woman that he presented me, was interested that she would become my wife. His wife is blonde. This is not his wife. I don't understand any of this stuff here. Since '86, been married to Lori G. Magnuson. He speaks French, blah blah blah. Okay. He's married to Lori. Lori was actually, that's very, very nice. She's a very, very beautiful woman from what I recall. And I was pissed off because he said to me, well, this is going to be, I found your wife. So she is from here. She's from Kenya. This girl is not his wife. Oh, this goes way back in time. I was not excited. I had no reason to be excited about this wife. Is this woman beautiful here? Yes, she is 10 out of 10. I mean, any male can see this, that there's nothing wrong with her. I mean, one look at this here and for sure you wouldn't be bored. But the problem is something else. Is all that other stuff. You want to fit in this kind of environment? Probably not. That's not how it works out. At least at my place, not. We don't do it like this. Is this one here appealing? Yes, of course she is. I even tried to get her, I remember. When she was young, she was not very deciding. She was very so-so. Then she got her shit together because they told her, if she won't get her shit together, they will replace her and it will be it. And so she did. She managed. she became more active, more involved, and I don't know what else she did to herself, but she looks like 10 out of 10. But this isn't the point, you know. This is not the point. The point about this stuff is what you do to the person to see it this way, you know. Well, we're not even gonna see this lady, this wife from him. This is a classic, I don't know, German, Norwegian lady, white lady, from what I recall. No, we're gonna see this or not, I do not know. I know because it appealed to me, and I said to myself, okay, I could live with this. I want one of those for myself, basically. Yeah, this goes way back in time, yes. The picture, I'm not going to be able to see one, or what? Ambassador, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I'm not going to be wasting time. I should be, but I'm not fucking doing this. God. Is he going to be wife? I don't think it's going to be here. I'm also talking about when we are younger. I don't know how she looks now, how the age did her, etc., etc. But what is this here? Is this his wife now? Madame Zippy, what? Yeah, that's his wife. She got older, boy. Okay, basically back in the day, this lady was good looking, white, children. She would also stay in the United States because the violence was so fucked up. It was a time when it was not pleasant for her to be next to her husband in Kenya, all right. In Kenya, they had a lot of good-looking ladies. I mean, there's no doubt about that. They always find some good-looking chick, whatever, to give company, because that's what they were using in between those torture sessions. There is nothing you can do against this stuff. There's nothing you can do against this stuff. I mean, you can give the maximum resistance, and then I don't know. I don't know what happens. You cannot win this. When I was in Russia, when I started to beat the fuck out of them, give them a maximum resistance when I wasn't taking shit, Medvedev only stated me, Dmitry Medvedev, you're never gonna return, this is Russia, you're never gonna return alive. He said, no way. That's how the fuck it goes. Chances that you are killed with American side doing nothing about it are fucking great. You can see it now in Ukraine, how that looks like. United States of America did not make any chance, they did not take any chances, they did not in respect to my case, they didn't risk anything. They didn't give a fuck about me. Based on what I see in Ukraine, I can tell you they did not give a fuck about me. Today I know that everything I did, it's proven, you can see this with your own eyes, was just simply a virtue of survival. If I made a mistake, Small mistake, I would have been dead, for sure. For sure. You can get killed at any time during MK Ultra. There's nothing as dangerous as MK Ultra. It might be one session and none other because you killed. I spent at least 10 years drugged up during MK Ultra. 10 years, 10 times 12 months, 10 times 365 days, minimum, 24/7. Drugged up, subjected to MK Ultra bestiality. At least 10 years. Minimum 10 years. I'm age 53. You can go one day, you can spend one day drugged up. And the chances are that's going to be your first and your last day. That's how dangerous that stuff is. Okay, I don't know. To me personally, it looked like German Scandinavian actually lady. Just like her last name, whatever the hell. Okay, she looked okay. That's all I'm trying to say. Let me see this here. I'm just not lucky today with this, and I don't want to spend time on this stuff. You folks can go and see it. So that's not his wife. This girl really is from here. This girl, he was offering me this girl in 1991. Godets was on our garden. We have strawberries in the summertime. Something like this. They had me. The year he got married, therefore in 89. So he came here. He started to come here on a regular basis, like since 1990. He was coming. Since 1990 he was coming, and he introduced this girl here that you see here at the airport, one I demonstrated you. He presented me this girl here that you see on the left side. He presented me this girl like in 91. He said to me that he was thinking about me, and that he was thinking about me, and that he figured out that he finally found the girl that would be right for me. And it was that blonde, that his wife, and then he presented me this lady here. And I remember that I inquired about, I said, if it's not something else available, like the one that he got for himself. Because that lady was in a picture for some time. And so he said, no, he said, this is perfect in Kenya. She blends into Kenya, so this is going to be perfect for you. So this is going to be perfect for you. This was about 2 years after he met his wife. He presented me this lady here that you see on the left. So this was it. And they really fucked me with this stuff, because next to convincing me that she works at this department of this Kenyan president, wherever that she's some kind of assistant over there, it was Barack Obama who would spend, notice that I was crazy about her. He spent time going with me over the internet, just like this, like I did right now, this the stuff that you see like this, images, welcome, 2018, let's say. I really became interested who this girl is. And then you get the images and back and forth, you play with this and you search for this person or whatever other person or whatever it is. And usually maybe or whatever, it doesn't matter. There will be some name they would display or whatever under the person or whatever. And so I found that there was no picture, there was no name with her or whatever. But I remember Barack Obama. This is what I remember. Now, in 2018, before he left, Barack Obama continued to come in our house all the time anyways. He did afterwards also come in our house, and he discussed this issue by claiming me because they did the whole collection of photographies with him and everything. And whatever they collected and prepared for a future collection online and stuff, they demonstrated him. He reviewed whatever was suitable, not whatever, agreed, disagree, and so on and so forth. Some of the stuff right here inside of our house in the kitchen. He had the whole fucking album with him from Kenya, from this trip particular and other trips and so on. They were doing this stuff with these people that would pay the state visits. And it was indifferent with this visit of 2018, and he stated me, nah, he said, you're not going to be able to see her anyways, because they noted that I was very interested in her. But what makes this brainwash so much crazier also is this here. Where am I at this moment here? I'm at this moment exactly as the cameraman is. I am right now being held by the throat next to the camera guy. And watch what happens. So they deliver me to the airport with this sister from Obama. There you see this Slovenian American guy handshaking right there. The guy moves himself away. You can see, you can have this beautiful view right there. That is a lovely view. To me, it's fucking crazy because I mean, look at her. Now, hold on. Now, look at her now. This stuff here. She started to look around and she's going to start to look into the camera. She is actually looking at me. I remember her looking at me. I remember her doing her best to make impression on me with Obama. Well, that made me only more pissed off. They wondered why I no longer even wanted to see her. Oh well. I mean, there is only one explanation for that reason. Look. Look. I know exactly where I am at by just looking at her eyes. You see that she keeps looking through toward the cameraman. Do you see this? This whole thing made me feel like that she's trying to make impression on me, like that she's trying to make herself important, that she's trying to let me know that she's there. In a way, even that she's trying to help me. I really don't know what the fuck went on with this stuff. So don't say that I don't remember how you got me to Kenya in 2018. Of course I remember how you got me to Kenya in 2018. But pay attention to this stuff. There is a little bit more to it. I don't know what to tell you, why this lady appeared at the same time as he supposedly got married to this blondine from United States of America. If you pay attention to Mr. Godet's is nowhere around her. She is wandering right there around by herself. That's how I suppose would remember her. She is actually looking for a companion, anyone that would be at least willing to be next to her. She is a bit lost, or by herself. I see there was some other black lady that joined her, give her a little bit company, boosted her confidence. What I'm trying to say is, under this kind of circumstances, it's very, very difficult to know who is what is. Very difficult to point out who she is, what she is. They lied, they misrepresented. No, they headed to the palace. When they headed to the palace, they had me walk behind them at the entrance. Then I was taken away, and again it was from the side. You know what this is? This is a schizophrenia. It's a schizophrenia because it's with extreme attention to a crime. I'm not going to even say to detail, with attention of like the highest attention, like a totally perfect killers that leave no fingerprints behind. I was frequently bullied, harassed during MK Ultra, challenged. Do you see yourself on a picture? Do you see yourself on a video? I was demonstrated videos, photos, people posing with the glasses, suggesting me during taking photos to look at the glasses if I see reflection, if I see myself in a reflection of the glasses. All kinds of issues like this. Pointing me out videos inside of our homes back home to watch those videos to see if I'm gonna recognize myself. Sometimes they pulled me a silicone mask over my head. Demanded from me to see myself in a crowd with the people. Barack Obama challenged me on such issues if I recognize myself in a crowd, gesturing me for some individual that they would be using a silicone mask that would replicate him, etc., if I can recognize myself in it, and so on and so forth. The thing is that I was so conscious that I had ability to memorize, literally investigate such crimes to the degree that I would know exactly where I was not. Sometimes the incidents reminded so much of, especially due to brainwash, of possibility that I could be on a picture, that I barely missed meeting with the problems. I somehow always really deeply identified these incidents. I can assure you that not even one single fucking time in what I'm talking to you about right now took place. Not literally a million times, but I'm just going to express myself, right? Like in a million times, numerous times. Not even one time I found myself on a single fucking picture that they were taking. The politicians, presidents, elites, people, private people, they have used during MK Ultra for me to identify, etc., etc. Not even one single time. One fucking time. Because every picture that you are allowed to post on the internet, that you are allowed to post on album or whatever, must be, according to MK Ultra, is inspection done by the police before you allowed to post your photos in your Facebook albums or whatever. It's always the police that checks them. I guess it could be really bad if you would put the photo with me somewhere on the internet, that you could really face consequences. I guess that US government, that's why I use the word assassins, attention of killers, professional assassins, did not have clean intentions with me. They did not have any good intentions with me. Their intentions were exactly as explained on my blog, with intention to detail of professional killers, assassins, accordingly to the standards of CIA and FBI. It's how they do this stuff. They don't make no mistake. They act awkward all the time, like they're making mistakes and they're sympathizing with you, socializing with you, and that the whole thing looks so easy. But this never was the case. Trust me, I inspected, let's just say, expression-wise, million photos of the people involved in this. It would be impossible for me to know who this lady is based on the stuff that I witnessed to you right now. Who the fuck knows? Maybe this is his wife. I have no fucking idea. If this is his wife, he lied. And if this is his wife, he might have not lied too. It's difficult to tell. When I say he might have not lied too, it's because they all lied. Every person lied. It only depends on how much they lied, and it only depended whether they lied more or they talked true more. If they talked true more, you knew their lies. If they lied more than what they talked true, then what can I say? Not an easy case to resolve. I don't know. I'm actually even suspecting that this is his wife, because of the words that he said to me. He stated that it will be perfect, that will blend into this environment. I think he was talking about himself, and I think that the blonde lady was somebody else. Just impossible, truly, truly impossible to know what the fuck is going on. This is MK Ultra. This is how you do MK Ultra. It's very difficult around the people like this. They didn't have any kind of clean intentions or whatever, and more likely than not, you're fucked. By 93, 94, this guy, this Godets already was willing to kill me, associated himself highly on our garden in Novo Mesto, the house of my parents, with the psychiatrists from Ljubljana Polje, which Director Bojan Zalar was the main guy. He too traveled everywhere around the world to smell where I was, what I was, talk to the people wherever they hosted me about obviously what was expected of them to perform on me, etc., etc. There was somebody else who also traveled around, not only the police department but the psychiatric staff from the psychiatric hospital Ljubljana Polje. They too, when it comes to Slovenia, traveled around and snitched around and did their portion of trouble. 93 Godets was already pledged, gave oath is gonna get me destroyed. 93, that's all it took. I don't think it does make even sense to continue. He would come here, meet in 95 and so on. He became a member of this circle here. So yes, I suppose that this is actually his wife, because he probably meant that she is perfect to get into this, to blend into this environment. That's what this is. She is, I remember now, she's got a dark hair, she look even black, and I had a problem with this stuff because I challenged him on her last name, Magnuson, and what is her name, Magnuson or whatever, Magnuson. I challenged her on that issue. And he was actually telling me that she is like this, despite her origins, etc., wherever the fuck the origins are. So this is actually his wife, believe it or not. His wife was he got a wife. The one who fixed him with his wife was Bill Clinton. I'm gonna tell you where his wife come from. I think from Chicago. Bill Clinton was his connection. Somehow they smelled the wife for him. I think Chicago, I think. Her background, I don't know. Magnuson is really Norwegian or Swedish or whatever it is. Maybe Danish, I have no clue. But it was something related to the Jewish whatever. That's where you see the black hair and those features that you see, something in that sense. I was in the house of her parents. Her parents has a house, and this must be from Chicago suburb. Wow, I think this is gorgeous. That's why I was looking to find her. No, I couldn't find her no more. This is where they get into the car. Oh, that through that gate into his presidential palace, etc. This is like bloody numerous times. This is interesting. This is really, really interesting because they make it in such a way like she is right there, completely by herself. Like she is like totally by herself. So the blonde lady, that's not his wife. So this is full of shit. You see the blonde wife, the so-called blonde wife that he had. She stayed in the US one time, like 2 years. She wouldn't be coming anymore to Kenya. This girl that used to work at the embassy. Maybe that was the girl that I demonstrated you earlier. And this is how you get the wrong impression so easily, right? So I suppose that this is his wife, yeah. So she's just like this, she's left behind. And to make things even more fucked up for me, once we return to the palace of this Kenyan president, the palace, I think, was renovated, improved, everything. They started to work on one big time. I don't know, like in 98, I think. It rings me like 98, something like this, that it was like big improvements they started to make. 98, 99, 2000 was like already like new, whatever the fuck they did with it. Once we returned to the palace, this is what makes things even more fucked up. They made me another surprise. I wanted to know who this lady is, and they made me another surprise. They started to act like she's like some kind of escort girl, like that she's like, that they keep this like just to get the state visits going in that sense. So to identify, these people are not really helpful. What's actually helpful were my interactions that were challenging and did cause certain turmoil. That's basically the memories I was building were quite the type of memories that you can basically grab yourself onto and continue to climb. Tensity. That's why my memories are quite...
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
I was quite tense. I was during MK Ultra. It was friction all the time. The questions I was asking, and also whatever my feedback I was giving, this stuff really looked like a war. Luckily for me, in a sense, in a way. Yeah, it was time that I even flirted with Obama's sister, but the thing is that she became cocky, and I don't like cocky people. I don't even know how to express myself, but what the fuck do I need the cockiness for? It did me no good. It doesn't do me any good, and quite frankly, I was doing everybody a favor. Obama was coming to Kenya basically just by using me, like a free transport, free way to travel. So did others, for whatever they traveled, for whatever their needs were, or whatever. Okay, so this will be MK Ultra on Kenya. There was also that other side of Kenya. I'm gonna say to you that I was meeting with the people that were also different. Not everybody was like this. This Obama presidency, this was just a desperate attempt, a gift to Obama, basically to literally get me killed. That's all there was. There was no other that I would know of purpose to Barack Obama's presidency. For what I am concerned, they were very generous to one another because they all worked for the same goal. There's certain issues they had, they all intersected. It all worked out for them really good. This is maybe interesting.
You can't imagine how I feel being here. It's wonderful, isn't it? And guess what I've got to do? I've got to introduce somebody to you who I'm seriously honored to be allowed to introduce. I'm introducing him to you, Kenyans, my fellow Kenyans, to the world, because I know they're also watching. And he's a person who's very, very dear to me, as if anybody didn't know this, you know this since Friday. He actually doesn't need an introduction, because you're not seeing him here for the first time. He's been here before. This is actually his 4th trip to Kenya. And his 4th trip to Kenya is maybe more than some of us who've gone abroad and haven't yet come back home. So that's for you guys. Keep coming home, because he managed to come here. And although he's come here in the...
All right. That's difficult to sit on the plane and take a free ride, basically. Really difficult. Wow, boy, did this guy traveled and went through the hell. That's all there is to it. I don't have anything else I would say in respect to this stuff. I'm not too happy about this. One thing that Obama did good, okay, one thing that Obama did good that he accomplished, apparently, that's what Obama claimed me, right? So, this is how they make you think. That's what they want you to acknowledge, that this is what it is, their fable. He apparently saved this girl. It was apparently, according to Obama, that she survived, that she's alive. In other words, that she has a family, because it was her own environment. They were going to lynch her. And I was the one who did all this because I was a racist and rah, rah, rah. This is Barack Obama. This is a classic. So when you see her, you should feel blessed. You should pay her respect, basically. Yeah, you should just pay respect for getting you killed, for taking away 53 years of life. That's how that is. This is a black person, this guy. This is a black individual. This is the guy who will talk to you about the slavery. He will talk to you about the equality. He did talk to you about equality, about the human rights, about the race, about discrimination. With the West support of his voters, black voters, that testified, witnessed, and participated in bestiality, in lynching throughout the United States of America and throughout Africa. And I was going to say he will not want to know anything about this stuff, but the thing is, I would not want to know him knowing anything about this stuff, because he doesn't deserve to be on my picture other than what I described him in this video. As a matter of fact, on my blog, he touched hearts of many people involved in MK Ultra, who found one to be a beast throughout the Europe, throughout the Asia, even throughout the Africa. People could not see themselves in Barack Obama for his psychiatric violence against me. He came out as a bigger loser than myself. Upon end of his presidency, 2 terms of presidencies, he tried to get me killed. No, I don't see myself in her. I was thinking about, really, I analyzed this issue because of this video here that she left. It's a video that will make you even think that she will regret not to see me. But I think that she is a beast. I think that this is a person that was dedicated very much in getting me killed, and it was just one of the people that they selected would use to play down, because they observed that I like good looking, appealing ladies, and that's what they were using. All the violence that what they always try to relate yourself to the victim, they lynch through the person that is appealing, if this is what it counts to the person, or to the person, or to a very close evaluation that doesn't take 1 or 2, 3 occasions, but it takes years of evaluation. If you stick to that person during these lynching procedures, this is what becomes a link between you and the community she will represent, obviously against you. For their sake, that's right. Always playing you down, lying about how to view who, and so on and so forth. This is the most dangerous person, might be exactly the person you see yourself in. Not always, but in this case, definitely.